In the days of King Saul, the land of Israel was troubled by war. The Philistines, a powerful neighboring people, had gathered their army and camped on one hill. Across from them, the army of Israel stood on another hill. Between the two armies lay a wide valley, silent and tense. Each morning, a warrior stepped forward from the Philistine camp. His name was Goliath, from the city of Gath. Goliath was unlike any man the Israelites had ever seen. He was tall and heavily armored, carrying a massive spear and shield. His presence alone struck fear into the hearts of those who saw him. When he spoke, his voice echoed across the valley. Day after day, Goliath challenged Israel. He mocked them and their God. He called for a single warrior to come and fight him, promising that the outcome of the battle would decide the fate of both nations. But no one stepped forward. For 40 days, Goliath returned morning and evening. And for 40 days, fear held Israel captive. Even King Saul, the tallest and strongest man in Israel, remained silent. The soldiers looked at the giant and measured him by his size, his armor, and his strength. By every human standard, Goliath was unbeatable. Far from the battlefield, there lived a young shepherd named David. David was the youngest son of Jesse. While his older brothers served in the army, David tended his father's sheep. His days were quiet, spent in fields and hills, watching over the flock, protecting them from danger, and learning to trust God in solitude. One day, Jesse sent David to the battlefield to bring food to his brothers and to check on their well-being. David obeyed and set out early in the morning, unaware that this journey would change his life forever. When David arrived at the camp, he heard shouting from the valley. Curious, he ran toward the front lines and listened as Goliath issued his challenge once again. David watched the soldiers of Israel turn away in fear. He did not understand their silence. David asked those around him why no one would respond. They told him of Goliath's strength and of the danger of facing him, but David saw something different. He did not see an unbeatable giant. He saw a man defying the living God. With a calm but confident voice, David asked, "Who is this Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God?" His words spread through the camp and eventually reached King Saul. David was brought before the king. Saul looked at him and saw only a young shepherd, untrained for war. He doubted that David could stand against such a powerful enemy. But David spoke not of his own strength. He spoke of God's faithfulness. He told Saul how God had delivered him from the paw of the lion and the bear while protecting his sheep. He explained that the same God who had protected him before would deliver him again. Saul listened, and though uncertain, he allowed David to face the giant. Before David left, Saul placed his own armor on him, but the armor was heavy and unfamiliar. David could barely move. He removed it and chose instead what he knew best. He took his shepherd's staff, his sling, and 5 smooth stones from a nearby stream. As David walked into the valley, Goliath saw him and laughed. He was insulted that Israel would send a boy to fight him. He cursed David and promised to defeat him. But David did not respond with fear. He said calmly, "You come to me with sword and spear, but I come to you in the name of the Lord Almighty. The battle belongs to the Lord." David ran toward Goliath. He placed a stone in his sling, spun it, and released it. The stone struck Goliath, and the giant fell to the ground. The victory did not come from strength, size, or armor. It came from faith. When the Philistines saw their champion fall, they fled. The army of Israel rose in courage and overcame their enemies. This story teaches us something timeless. Fear grows when we focus on how big our problems are. Faith grows when we remember how great God is. David was not fearless because he was strong. He was fearless because he trusted God. And so, the story of David and Goliath reminds us that faith does not depend on what we have in our hands, but on who we trust with our hearts. Thanks for listening to the story of David and Goliath. For more inspiring stories of the Bible, subscribe to Godson Bible Stories. God bless you.